Good morning everyone. So in the last video we have seen the need of DSP, what is a signal, what are the types of processing. So here just a little more introduction is available in this video now. So this video covers what is a DSP. So it is the technique of performing the mathematical operations on the signals in digital domain. So because every signal which is available in the nature is of analog form, so first we need to convert that into digital form. Once it gets processed in the digital domain, again the signal needs to be converted back into the analog domain. So here we are using two blocks, one is ADC and the other is DAC for the other output. Next, once again we will see what is the need for DSP. Because if you take analog signal processing, if you take ASP, they have some drawbacks. So the drawbacks are removed with this digital signal processing. If you take analog, they are sensitive to environmental changes. Like they will change if the environment is, they will change with the environment. So aging, once the equipment is brought at a later stage, it will start aging, the components gets heated up, or it will be needed to replace the components, and uncertain performance, and the performance also is not very good. You take the accuracy or in producing the units, the variation in performance of units and also compared to digital, cost of the system will be very high. So this is the need for DSP. Lot of advantages are brought you by DSP. Next, we will see the block diagram of a digital signal processing system. So it consists of filters, anti-aliasing filter. So what is anti-aliasing filter? So what is aliasing effect? So if we do not maintain the correct frequency, so if you are sampling any signal, so if you are sampling any frequency, if we are taking the rate of the sampling frequency less than half of the sampling frequency, then what is happening? We cannot get the signal properly. So this effect is called as anti-aliasing effect. So to reduce this aliasing effect, we need an anti-aliasing filter. So what is aliasing filter means? We are not maintaining the correct frequency. We are taking the ratio less than or equal to half of the sampling frequency, we will get an effect. So due to whatever the signal we have sent to the input, we may not get the same as an output. So we are using an anti-aliasing filter. So the next one is analog signal is available. So that needs to convert it into digital. So we are using an ADC block. Then a processor will be there, DSP signal, digital signal processor will be there. Then again once it gets converted, we will convert back into analog signal. Again we will be using at the other side also anti-aliasing filter. So there are different types of signals for typical DSP signals available. For the first one is the continuous time signal. So it is varying. Second one is sampled signal. So this we are taking only a part of the signal. So we are taking samples of the signal. The next we are taking the sampled data signal in C, figure C. Next in figure D, we are taking quantized signal. So what is the difference between sampling and quantizing? Quantizing means it is used to correct, round off to the nearest value. So whatever the samples we are taken, we will round off it to the nearest value. Then once we are converting again to the analog output. So digital to analog converter. So fifth one is the last one. Again digital to, it will again convert to the original signal. So here these are the five types of signals which are processed in a digital signal processing system. Next, first we will, what is the first major step is, once the analog signal is available with us, we will go for a sampling. So sampling is nothing but, so we will take a particular value, particular points for a signal, and we also need to check the aliasing effect, whether it is possible or not. To avoid the aliasing effect, the sampling should be at least or equal to the Nyquist rate. That is, suppose if we are taking the sampling rate at very high, higher frequency components also cannot be recovered. So what we are taking, so we will see one of the effects, how we can verify the sampling theorem. So if we do take the frequency very less than, fs less than 2 fm, then what happens, the signal, you can see the red part in the first figure, it is not recovered properly. In the oversampling Nyquist plot, we are getting exactly the signal, input signal and output signal are almost on the same level. If you take an oversampling plot, we can see that this also gets some distortion. So in the sampling theorem, in these three signals, the second one, that is the middle one, Nyquist plot, is much better because it exactly represents your input signal. Now what is next? Discrete time sequences. So here we are taking an analog mathematical representation of an analog signal, a x of t. We will take some cos function, cos of which has got an amplitude and frequency, so it is represented by a cos 2 pi ft. Suppose we will take the samples for this signal at n intervals. So let us replace, wherever t is there, let us replace everything by nt. So x of nt is given by, so replace it with t, wherever t is there, replace it with nt. So now it becomes, in right side also it becomes a cos 2 pi nft. So now wherein we can have the values from 0 to 1, 2, 3 and so on. And here what is fs? Here fs, your sampling frequency. We can also write it as 1 by t. And theta is 2 pi ft. If you take 2 pi ft as theta, then simply we can write down a cos 2 pi fnt, or in place of t we can write f1 by t, that is 1 by fs we can write, or we can simply write theta instead of 2 pi ft. So this theta is called as a digital frequency. Now we are taking it for a single signal. You take it for a periodic sequence with a period n. So if you take at x of n, start with x of n, then x of n plus n also should be equal to x of n. The frequency response of frequency domain equal to equivalent of a discrete time sequence. So if you take exponential form of e power j theta, that should be equal to what? X of n e power, this x component is replaced with minus jn theta, wherever j theta is there, represented with jn n theta, this minus. So if you take the frequency response plot of a discrete sequence, it involves both magnitude as well as phase response. So that's all we have seen today. What is the what a block diagram of a DSP consists of, what is the need of a DSP, and what are the parts, different blocks of a DSP. So what is sampling? If we do not maintain the sampling properly, what happens to the reconstructed signal? And what are the discrete time sequences? How can we represent the discrete time sequences? And then thank you.